Here's everything I ate today on my GLP-1 weight loss journey to get enough protein and other nutrients. It might surprise you that my weight loss journey is not focused on cutting calories. Instead, it's focused on getting enough calories and nutrition to stay in a healthy calorie deficit without depriving my body of the nutrition that it needs. This is week 33 of my GLP-1 weight loss journey after menopause, and I'm down about 22 pounds. So let's look at what I ate today and stick around to the end for a breakdown of all the nutritional information and where I might need to tweak some things. So I didn't do any meal prep this week, and it is so much easier for me to stay on track when I've done some meal prep and I have some easy things to grab from the fridge. But I've just not been in that groove lately. I don't know why. I've just kind of blown it off. I'm glad that I really paid close attention today to make this video to kind of catch some things that are maybe slipping between the cracks. My goal is to get at least 100 grams of protein a day and between 25 and 35 grams of fiber a day, and then to drink enough water. And on top of that, I just know that I want to eat a lot of fruit and vegetables and move my body. My dietitian set my calories at about 1,700 a day to lose weight slowly but healthfully? I don't know. So that's what I shoot for. And it's been working well for me. So far I'm losing on average just under a pound a week. One thing I don't do is rely on hunger cues for when to eat, because the Zepbound I'm on right now, I'm on 5 milligrams of Zepbound, does such a good job of suppressing my appetite that if I just relied on when I was ready to eat, I probably would only eat once a day. And that's just not healthy. I might lose weight faster, but it wouldn't be healthy. That's when you start to do things like lose hair and lose muscle and just feel really tired all the time. And it can also make your body kind of slow down to try to conserve energy. That's one reason why you can be really tired at a huge calorie deficit, is your body just tries to get you to do less to conserve energy. So I really want to stay at a calorie deficit to lose weight, but at a small calorie deficit. If you're new here, hi, I'm Bobby. I am documenting my GLP-1 weight loss journey after menopause here on YouTube. I am a therapist and an artist, and I am not a medical doctor, and this is not medical advice. I'm just sharing my personal experience and what's working for me, and I encourage you to consult with your own doctor and healthcare providers when you're making decisions for yourself. Losing just under a pound a week has definitely flexed my patience muscle. But I've heard from so many of you that that's around the rate that you're losing too. So we're definitely not alone. Especially after menopause, weight loss is slower. And I think the things that I would need to resort to lose weight faster, I'm just not willing to do. So I think my destiny is just to lose weight slowly and steadily. Okay, so my eating today. It's a pretty normal weekday. I'm working from home. I have 5 clients to see. My practice is all online. My job obviously is very sedentary, but I do have a walking pad next to my desk. And so I am in the habit most days of walking on the walking pad in between clients just to get a little bit of movement in. I was thinking when I did a what I eat in a day that it would be nice if I just shared kind of a typical day at home. But doing that on a typical day at home where I have a bunch of clients turned out to be not such a great idea, because I was really focused on work and clients and then trying to film my meals before, during, and after my clients. My attention was divided. I was thinking more about my client work, which I think is appropriate, but it meant that I didn't make the kind of video for you that I wanted to. I already know what I'm eating today, but none of it is prepped or anything, so you'll see me do really quick, really simple meals that I enjoy and that help me meet my nutrition goals. So the first thing that I eat or drink in the morning actually is some electrolyte water. And I use LMNT electrolytes. I've tried other ones, and in fact I use some other ones sometimes, especially if I run out of LMNT. But LMNT is really the one that I feel the best on, and I use one packet a day. So the first thing I do is I just mix that up in my big Hydro Flask. And today I had a little bit of time where I just kind of cuddled up under a blanket by a sunny window and drank some water. And then shortly after that, I made my protein coffee. It was about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'll show you that now. Okay, so I have a really nice Chemex setup that I use a lot of the time, but today I was feeling lazy and I had some cold brew in the fridge. So I'm going to make my protein coffee with cold brew instead of brewing hot coffee. And that coffee in the Chemex that I'm showing you is yesterday's coffee. So yeah, haven't washed it and don't want to drink day old coffee, although I've done it before. So I'm mixing up some cold brew with this ON brand vanilla protein drink. And I've tried their chocolate, their salted caramel, and their vanilla. I like them all. I've settled on ON lately because it's plant-based and I'm kind of lactose intolerant. I can eat dairy, but I've noticed that eating things with like processed whey in it makes me feel kind of bloated and icky. And that's not a new thing with the GLP-1. That's been for years. So I've really liked plant-based protein powders and protein drinks. ON I can find at the grocery store, and this gives me 32 grams of protein, my caffeine for the day, and I don't count it as breakfast. I just count it as like getting a little ahead of the game on my protein while I get my coffee. And I'll show you my breakfast later, which is usually at least an hour, if not a couple hours after my coffee. You know how I said that I don't necessarily pay attention to when I'm hungry for meal times? And this is one of those times. It was about 10:30 when I ate breakfast today, and I was looking at the clock and I realized I should eat breakfast before it's lunchtime. So this is a real go-to breakfast for me because it meets those goals of getting some protein and some fiber in, and I like it. So what goes into this breakfast today is some fat-free Greek yogurt, some organic raspberries, some pumpkin seeds for some crunch, and some maple syrup for some sweetness. So I don't typically measure it when I'm just making it on my own, but I wanted to give you guys the full like calorie and proteins and fiber, all the breakdown of all that. So I'm measuring it today, and it looks like what I normally eat. It's just that I usually eyeball it. So I measured 2/3 of a cup of yogurt and 2/3 of a cup of raspberries, and then a tablespoon each of the pumpkin seeds and the maple syrup. Pro tip for organic raspberries, or probably not organic raspberries too, is I find that they can go bad and get moldy really fast. And since I started rinsing them when I get back from the grocery store in a solution of like a teaspoon or so of white vinegar in water, and just soak them in that for a few minutes, rinse them off, and put them back in their container, I swear they can go like a week or more without getting moldy. There's something about just that little bit of vinegar must kill off whatever mold spores are there, and the raspberries last a really long time. So here you can see what it looks like. It kind of looks like what you'd expect, a bowl of yogurt and raspberries with a couple things mixed in. And even though I wasn't super hungry, I enjoyed it. It tasted good and I liked it, and I ate the whole thing. And now it'll be like another few hours before I stop for lunch. And the breakfast came in at 250 calories, another 23 grams of protein, and 6 grams of fiber. The protein coffee was 200 calories, so I'm at about 450 calories so far, which is a nice place to be for me. If you're finding this video helpful, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button below and subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date with all my videos. Okay, so lunch. It was about 2 o'clock when I had a break for lunch in between clients. And I knew pretty much what I was going to have for lunch because I knew what was waiting for me in the fridge. It wasn't like all assembled yet, but it's what I often have, whether I've meal prepped or not, which is a salad with some protein on it. And when I've prepped, I make really nice salad jars, and I'll put like 4 or 5 of them all lined up in the fridge, and it makes me so happy, and they're so cute. That just wasn't happening. So I had some leftover spinach from a salad earlier, like night before last, I think, that I knew, I was like, this is the perfect amount for lunch. So I took the leftover spinach and I threw it in a bowl. To make it a little tastier, I added about 1 ounce of walnuts. I meant to measure it for today just to have like a more exact count for you guys, I think it's about an ounce of walnuts. And then I had some leftover chicken breast, like cooked chicken breast, that we actually bought already cooked at Costco. So I knew I had some of that in the fridge, not that much, but enough for a lunch. And then I also eyeballed about a tablespoon of reduced sugar dried cranberries. So those are things I put on the salad just because it, makes them taste better. The walnuts are also really healthy. And then I put 2 tablespoons of this blue cheese dressing on it. And it's not any kind of reduced calorie or anything. It's just like a bottle dressing that we had in the fridge. So that was my lunch. This is exactly how I would make it on a normal day. Like I wouldn't weigh, I would just kind of eyeball. My guess is the chicken was about 2 ounces of chicken because it really was a pretty small portion. Editing Bobby here. I am so sorry. I filled my whole lunch not realizing that you can't see the salad, and then I forgot to take a picture of the salad. To try to make it up to you, here's a picture of something else I ate for lunch this week. We went to Cava and I had this Mediterranean bowl. It was greens and grains and chicken and avocado and all kinds of nice veggies. I'll put the nutrition information up here. I have to be honest, I wasn't terribly hungry, but I ate it anyway. This might be controversial. I've heard some people say like they don't want to force feed themselves, and if they're not hungry, they don't think they should eat. Like I said earlier, I just feel like I could really be undernourished if I followed my hunger cues because they're just like really suppressed on this medication. So even though I can feel hungry, like if I accidentally skip a meal and go a really long time without eating, like I can get really hungry. I posted a video when I got really hangry a week or 2 ago. I'll put the link up here because I hadn't eaten for like basically all day and I was so cranky while I filmed it. Since I had breakfast and a protein coffee, I really wasn't that hungry. This is one of those meals I could have skipped if I'd just not been thinking about it, but I didn't. I ate it and I liked it. It was good. And after that I was ready to see the last couple clients of the day. Okay, for dinner I had something that my husband and I eat at least once, if not twice a week. And I've even shared it in at least 1, maybe 2 videos in the past. It's carbonara pasta, which is a low carb pasta with Rao's brand arrabbiata sauce, and then some kind of protein. Tonight we used chicken sausage, which was still being defrosted when I shot this. Here's another example where what I envisioned sharing with you isn't really what I'm able to share with you, and I don't really have the time to reshoot it right now. It turned out my husband made this dinner and I don't have any video of it actually being prepared. And then I sat down and ate all the sausage out of the dish before I remembered, oh, I need to like take some pictures or video of this. So I just took a snapshot of this like half-eaten dinner. This is what I ate in a day, but half eaten. Dinner was about 600 calories with a whopping 52 grams of protein and 11 grams of fiber. It was really filling and I didn't have any kind of evening snack because I just wasn't hungry. So I'm shooting for 1700 minimum and I'm just shy of 1600 calories today. However, I did meet my protein and fiber goal. I want to get over 100 grams of protein a day and I hit 131 grams, which is great. Even though I want to hit at least 100, I like to shoot for around 120. So 131 is awesome. And 31 grams of fiber, excellent. Anywhere between 25 and 35, I'm happy. This is where I could do better because I had thought, because I had 3 solid meals and a protein coffee, I was kind of like, this is great. This will be right on track. And I kind of wonder now, upon reflection, if I haven't been eating enough, because for the past couple weeks, I've noticed at the gym when I'm lifting weights that I haven't been able to go heavier on any of my weights. I'm staying the same, but I'm not getting stronger. And this could be why, I don't know. I need to hire a trainer because there could be other reasons. I don't know. But I do know that I'm not eating as many calories as my dietitian thinks that I should be eating. I have an appointment with her tomorrow. If I have time before I finish this video and put it out this week, I'll come back and put something in about my meeting with the dietitian. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that or if I'll just do it next week, but I'll talk to her about this. Like I've mentioned, I haven't really been tracking as diligently as I was at the beginning of my GLP-1 weight loss journey when I was really tracking like everything I was eating. And I just haven't been as much because I kind of thought, oh, you know, I'm eyeballing it and I have a general idea and it's all good. And I think it might not be all good. I think I might not be eating enough. So note to self, be better about tracking and figure out how to get enough energy so that I can stay at a calorie deficit, but not such a big one that I'm going to impact my lean muscle mass and my energy levels. I did fine on my hydration, which I usually do. After I finished that 40-ounce electrolyte drink, I refilled the Hydro Flask with just plain water and sipped on that throughout the day. And so that's 80 ounces. And then there's other hydration that happens with drinking that protein drink and eating fruit and other things that, you know, have water in them. So on target with hydration. Quick weigh-in update. Guys, for the first time since I started Zepbound, I am up. The scale went up this week. It's been going down, you know, little by little every week. And I knew it would come sooner or later because that's just part of the progress. This is the week. I didn't have a weigh-in last week because I was out of town. The week before that, I weighed in at 187.3. And this week I weighed in at 188. So I'm up 0.7 pounds. I'm not too worried about it. I know that that's like a normal fluctuation. Don't know why it happened, whatever. But that's where I'm at. So I'm down 22.1 pounds since the beginning of my weight loss journey, and we'll see what next week brings. Let me know in the comments below if you've got a favorite breakfast, lunch, or dinner that you find yourself going to time and time again. These 3 meals today are pretty representative of things that I eat on repeat because I like them and because they're healthy and they're easy. If you want to know more about how I eat, here's another What I Eat in a Day video that you can watch. See you next time. Bye.